Listen, if it's one thing that I'm pretty sure we're all aware of is that life is out here moving fast, okay? It's a lot going on. We got society telling us what we should be doing, we should be, all while we're still trying to figure ourselves out. But you know what we can do? We can be mindful of where we are in this present moment and take small steps towards becoming better by the day and towards reaching our God-given purpose. So let's figure it out and work through it together. Welcome to Mindful Moments, y'all. A space where we talk it out, laugh it out, cry it out, hash it out. Listen, just get it all out, okay? This is a safe space for you, where we talk about the ups, the downs, even the in-betweens. A place where we go through it so we can grow through it. Tune in every week as we fill our minds with who we're destined to be, with positivity, with awareness, and honestly, just with love. So I encourage you, let's be mindful of today in hopes for, yes, a better you, but also in hopes for a better tomorrow. Again, welcome to Mindful Moments. Welcome back to another episode of Mindful Moments. I am your host, Jada Lowe. As always, if this is your first time listening, this is a podcast where we merge our faith in God, mental health, our overall well-being, relationships, all that good stuff, where we explore the intersectionality of that all to just be better us for a better tomorrow. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's the right grammar. I need a nap. But to make sure that we're better people, there we go, better people for a better tomorrow, okay? And if y'all are back for my regulars, what's popping? How y'all looking? How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? Y'all all right? It's Monday. Y'all push through the weekend? You're good? We're good. Everything's fine. We'll be fine. Everything's fine. So as always, let's get into it. Let's jump into it. We're going to talk about something that I think we all need help with, no pun intended. But let's talk about like asking for help and why it's so hard for people to ask for help. Y'all bear with me this episode. If you're watching, I may be laughing from time to time. That is because Derico Suave Jackson is behind the camera and he is making all the faces. So I'm going to try to stay here and not there, because if I look over there, we might have to cut the camera off because I'm going to probably topple over due to laughter. Okay. So let's talk about help, receiving help, the importance of getting help, asking for help, and why it's hard for people to ask for help. So do y'all find that it's hard for y'all to ask for help? I'm just now getting to the point where it doesn't make me itch to ask people for help. Before, like, I do it all by myself. You know how people say, get somebody else to do it? Don't get nobody else to do it. I'm not going to ask nobody else to do it. I'm going to do it myself. Even if I mess it up, even if it falls to shambles and to pieces, at least I can say I was the person responsible. Because, like, if I ask for help and then it fall and it crumble, I could have just did it myself and it could have messed around and worked, or it could have toppled over. Either way, I would have been responsible. I wasn't going to ask for help, but now I've gotten to the place we've matured, we've settled down, and, like, I can now actually ask for help. So it's like, why do we not ask for help? But one, I feel like it's because we're in like a culture of like this hyper independence. It's like, oh, I want to do it myself, and let alone a little bit of ego, because it's like, okay, if I don't ask for help and I do it by myself and it mess around and work, I can give myself all the credit. But it's like, why do we want to, like, there are some things that you need to do alone and there are things that you'll do by yourself, but it's like, why do we want to have such hyper independence to where we don't ask for help? I believe a little bit of that has come from like maybe seeing people get help and also asking for help and it falling through, and seeing other people asking for help and it falling through for them. So I believe that's some of it. I believe it's also like a fear of judgment, because living too in like this hyper independent time where it's like, oh, INDEPENDENT, do you know what that mean? And it's like, we're not asking for help because we're fearful that, I don't know if it's like a fear of looking weak, or just like a fear that people will judge you and judge your ability because you're asking for help. But there are some things that we take on that is just too big. It's just too much for like one person to take that on. So you have to ask for help. Another reason, and one of my ugh, I almost threw up a little bit. One of my main reasons for not asking for help is because now I don't have as much control as I want to have. So it's I'm gonna throw this computer at you. One of the reasons why it's hard for me to ask for help is because like I don't have full control. If I'm asking you to help me with something, prime example, group projects. If I had the choice of picking who could be in my group, I'd pick 3 people, me, myself, and I. I'm not asking none of y'all to help me. And it's proven like in college and even in high school, well, not college, because I don't know why, like when you get in college, for me in high school, I didn't have a lot of group stuff. But when I got to college, it's like the professors just wanted to put you in groups. And it's like, I don't know these people. I don't know these people's work ethic. I don't know their schedule, their routine. I don't know these people. And so I got messed around and put in one group. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm not gonna cap you up, down, or around downtown. I had to take the reins on the group because one of them he just wasn't holding up his end. But I like the professors who they let you be in a group and they let you grade everybody. Oh, he got a grade. Tuh. He got it because I did your part. And granted, I asked the young man. I said, this is your part. We all showed each other how to do it. If anybody needed help, we left it open to where, if you needed help, then you could ask. He still didn't do it. So I said, you know what? Bet. We did our part. Each of us did our part. I don't know where he was at, over somewhere in La La Land. And then I did a little bit of his part as well as the other respective people. And so when it came time to give him a grade, so I'm gonna leave the silence, let the silence do that. But that loss of control is like, because I feel like, and I've been shown sometimes that when you put things in other people's hands, let alone things that you care about in other people's hands, there's a possibility that they could fail you, that they could not do it to your expectation, that it could just go to shambles. And there's also the possibility that, it could actually work out, but who has time to think about that, right? But the worst case scenario is always in my head, and I just feel like I don't have control, and that, makes me itch. The other thing, I think it goes back to the hyper independence too, but just like culture and society, it's like, don't ask for help, do it yourself, grind, get there by yourself, get there alone. You don't need nobody to help. But it's like, you need, some of the most successful people have a really good team behind them. And you need help. As you elevate, as you go higher, as you go and elevate in life, you're going to need help. That's one of the responsibilities of elevating and walking into better. You're going to need not just help, you're going to need a team in certain things. You're going to need input for certain things. And that also comes with just like, we have to do a better job of like vetting people and asking, not just asking for help, but asking the right people for help. So boom, prime example. It's very important to have the right people for help. I have a great analogy. The gym has so many life analogies. So boom. I've been working on my strength in the gym lately. So I'm on incline, doing incline dumbbell press. So I've learned in the gym, there are some people that you ask to spot you, and there are some people that you don't ask to spot you. For those who don't know what a spotter is essentially somebody who's there behind you to catch the weight if it falls and to help assist you through the reps that you're struggling with, okay? So yes, you have the weight that you can do, that you can manage, that you can control fully. Then as you go up, because you want to build your strength, because you want to grow, you're going to need somebody to spot you, because while you may be able to get that weight up, you're going to get to a certain point, if that's a weight that you've never experienced before, or even you've experienced from like here to there. I found that I've needed somebody to help assist me through it, and to push me to do extra reps that I wouldn't be able to do on my own. And that leads to what? Those muscle fibers tearing and to the muscle growth. But you have to have a right spotter. I've had people spot me in the gym, and they'll either be in La La Land, looking Lord knows where, or they're the way they spotted me ended up doing more harm than good. There's a certain way to spot people. So yes, it's also about like getting the right help. You want to grow, you want to change, you want to see changes, you want to see transformation. You have to have the right people to spot you in life. And having a good spotter is somebody who knows what they're doing, because they know you, they know when they can push you past your limits, and they know how to help you to keep pushing, not to where you burn out or to where you fatigue, but to where you can get, and gym wise, an efficient number of reps after the number that you normally would, to be able to get the muscle growth that you say you want. So I like talking about the gym. I love the gym. Shout out to my gym friends. Thank y'all for being great spotters. But yes, and when it comes to like having the right type of help too, I think sometimes we can get nervous about asking for help, but you'll have those people in your life, and try to vet and be discerning to where you'll end up figuring out the right people. You won't have to feel like you're overextending yourself to ask for help, or that you feel like you have to walk on eggshells to ask for help. And just make sure you vocalize it. Part of and I know that's easier said than done, especially like if if you have the fear of judgment, if societal standards and norms and this, that, and the third, and then like the loss of control. I know it can be easier said than done to vocalize that you need help, but it's also a little bit of your responsibility to let people know that you need help. Don't suffer in silence when you actually need help. I'm talking about any aspect of your life. Don't suffer in silence. You can ask for help, even if it's testing the waters, and I'll get to that too. You can ask for help. You can, and too, I will admit, it's nice to have people in your life that know you to where they know when you need help. Granted, there are times where you're going to have to vocalize it, and it's also nice to have people who can like check in and be like, you need help with anything, whether they're just asking and you don't need help, or where they're asking and like you actually need some help. So it's like I get that asking for help is easier said than done, and it's like, well, Daddy, doggone it, how do I ask for help when it's hard? Like, if I get it, it can be hard, and there are times where like you need help, but it's like I rather not just suffer, but I rather not ask for help than do something that's hard. And not just hard, it can be uncomfortable asking for help, especially, granted, if when you've asked for help and people have failed you, just in the sense of not just in the sense of like, I'm talking about callousness, where people are just like, I'm not about to help you. Or just when people just callously didn't show up after you vocalize that, hey, I really need help. And if that's happened to you, I'm sorry. But know that there are people in your life that can pick that up and can change and reframe your mindset around people failing you in the sense of asking for help. There are people who are able to help you in situations. And just expressing the need for help, it can be challenging. I trust me, I get it. But there are some ways to make it easier. And one thing that that's helped me has been like starting small. You don't have to say, can you help me move from Georgia to California? Say, hey, I'm moving and I need help getting some boxes. Do you mind bringing some boxes to my house, because I'm sorting the things out at my house? So can you bring me some boxes? Like, you see how that went from like big, like a very big scale, to small, and you can see, and that gives you an opportunity to see how they respond. Some people, and you sometimes you can't get mad when people can't help you. Sometimes people don't have the capacity to help you, but you have to decipher between what's what. There's a difference between I'm actually getting ready to travel myself, or I'm busy with my family, or I'm busy doing this and this, I can't help, or I'm in another country, or I'm not in town right now, I can't help, compared to, oh, I just kind of want to stay in the bed. We're like, somebody could make an extra effort to go out of their way, or to where they're just like, I just don't feel like helping, or where they're unreliable. Like, those are different. And it gives you the opportunity to test people in all honesty, so that way you know what people you can call on, what people that you can't call on, what people who are reliable and you can ask for help, and what people you can ask for help with small things, or what people you can ask for help with big things. So like start small and process how your different relationships maneuver through that type of help, and also confide in somebody that you trust. Like if it's something that's sensitive and you need help in that way, find somebody that you can confide and trust in too. Be honest. And I know all these things are easier said than done, because helping in itself can be hard. And so then when you have to be honest about why you need help, that requires honestly a level of vulnerability. And that goes to confiding in them too, excuse me. But yeah, just being honest and direct with why you need help. And just clearly communicating what you need from that person, and then acknowledging how you feel. It's okay to admit, and I say all this in the context too of it being the right people. Yes, it'll hurt when you apply these things to people that you thought you could, and it just seems like they're dismissive, or they just simply can't, or they don't want to. But there are people who will welcome that, who can carry that with you. I believe that we have people in our lives we're supposed to carry each other's burdens. I believe that. I don't believe it's in a way where it's unhealthy or where it's detrimental to our well-being, but to a certain extent, we're supposed to carry each other's burdens. We're supposed to help each other. You cannot make it through life alone. If you think you can make it through life alone, you are sorely mistaken. You can't. We're meant to be there for each other, and so just acknowledging your feelings and being honest about it, and that requires vulnerability too. And it's just important to have help for the sake of your mental health, for the sake of your mental health, and just for the sake of growing. Like you can't grow if you don't have help. That goes back to the gym analogy. I wouldn't have made the progress that I would have made if I wouldn't have had the extra help that I have in the gym. I feel like that's the best visual representation that I can give. And I'm not just talking about help in the sense of spotting, help in the sense of encouragement. You can call people and say, hey, I need a little bit of help. I need a little pick me up. I'm just down. I need to get through, and I just need something. Whether you scream at me so I can wake up and get to work, or whether you're telling me to push through for these last few sets for this workout, like that's help too. That leads to growth too. And that produces, when you have the right people to give you the right help, it produces stronger relationships with those people and stronger relationships in general. And I believe that's just one of the beautiful things that comes from asking for help. And I feel like we have to not, and by we, I mean just like society and culture, we're so hyper fixated on people making it alone, making it independent, not needing nobody, being able to get here and here and here by yourself, to where it's like we can do a lot more damage if we learn how to work together and if we learn how to help people. We really can. You cannot do this by yourself. You want 6 to 7 passive streams of income and you're about to do it all by yourself? You finna run all 6 to 7 of them income streams from that MacBook Air by yourself. Be for real. It's just like at one point we have to stop being delusional. You're going to need help, and you're going to need a team. You're going to need help. That's where the relationships are built. That's where we learn how to communicate. That's where we learn how to ask for help. That's where we learn what's the right form of help compared to the wrong form of help. That's how we learn how to be better assistance to other people. It's all about building relationships. I could go off on my soapbox about that, because I hate how we try to put people against each other, and we try to make it seem like you have to do all of this by yourself. You don't have to. And while I know it's hard to ask for help, it's even harder maneuvering through that alone, and having the regret of wishing that you could have asked for help, or even the regret of realizing that you could have been further along if you would have just put your pride aside, or if you would have just took the time to try to ask for help. to just try. The worst thing they could do is prove you wrong, like the other people that prove you wrong. Keep trying to ask for help. Keep asking. Keep asking. The right person will come along that will help. Trust me. It's all like one of yes, it's important to ask for help for, productivity and efficiency and all that good stuff. Like I said, your mental and emotional health, all that good stuff, and growth, all that good stuff. But just building relationships with people and finding, even if it's one person, finding that one person that said, hey, even though all of these people didn't show up for me and didn't help me and didn't take me seriously when I asked for help, I can say this one person did. And that just gives me a little bit of hope to know that there are good people out there. Just ask for help. Whether it's help with an assignment, help with a business idea, and it doesn't have to be big. Like I said, start small. Start small. Like start on a small scale. You need help doing a task at home or something. Ask for help. You will wear yourself out if you think you can be everywhere at once and do everything by yourself. Ask for help. That's all. I'm not gonna go off on my soapbox too much. I feel like that's an area that we need help in. Seriously, no pun intended. We really need help asking for help. We do, and it worries me sometimes how we're so hyper fixated on I can do this and this and this all by myself. I can be bad all by myself. Like there are some things that you can do by yourself, but you can't do everything by yourself. You want to do everything by yourself. You want to go through your whole life by yourself, not needing help from anybody, suffering and not asking for help from nobody, having to move, not asking for help from nobody, having to run all of them businesses, not asking for help from nobody, just alone and lonely, both of them. You don't want any help. You don't want any, you want no help whatsoever. You think you finna get that body that you want by yourself. You don't need some encouragement from somewhere. You think you want to accomplish these great things and you think you're going to get there by yourself. You're going to have to ask somebody for help somewhere along the way. And you know what? Baby cakes, that is okay because we're meant to go through life together. It's okay to ask for help. That's what I just wanted to say to somebody. It's okay to ask for help. You will be okay if you ask for help. You'll probably even be better if you ask for help. Asking for help creates a sense of trust too. I'm telling you, like it improves relationships. It really does. And it helps you to trust yourself to be like, I can't ask for help. And if you find that you don't ask for help because you don't have control, like one thing I had to learn, like I didn't ask for help because I wouldn't have full control because I found that people didn't do things the way I did it. It gave me the opportunity to ask for help, to communicate the way I do things, but to also open myself up to the way people do things so we could find a medium ground of where we align to where we could end up making something just as good, if not greater, because I asked for help. Communicate. Oof. Ask for help, y'all. It's okay. It's okay. We're always telling people, like social media, telling them, do it by yourself. Do that. You don't need no help. Yada. Man, y'all do. Okay. 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 Do that if you want. Do that if you want. Gonna be suffering in silence. Do that if you want. But for the people who actually want to be better, ask for help. It will be okay. I sounded like somebody's auntie. Oh. Just ask for help, y'all. I'm passionate about that because like we grow together. We really do. We really do. So just ask for help. It's okay to ask for help. It can be scary and daunting to ask for help, but you are capable of asking for help. And the right help will come. I know people have failed you in the past. I know you asked for help in the past and people were dismissive. I know people didn't care to help. I know people said they would show up and didn't. There are still people who God's sending to you that will show up, that will help you, that have the capacity to help you, and that you can also help. You can ask for help. You are capable of it. All right. That's it. That's it. Y'all done got me worked up. That's it. You can ask for help. I hope that helps somebody. No pun intended. Goodness gracious. Share it with somebody who needs help. Share it with somebody as a way of vocalizing that you need help. You know, you can do it. I believe, like I tell y'all all the time, I believe it. I know it's hard. I don't tell y'all these things like it's easy. I know it's hard, but you can do it. All right? All right. All right. I love y'all. Ask for help. I love you, and I will see you in the next episode. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Mindful Moments. I want y'all to remember this. Take it one step at a time. Know that you're capable. Know that you're worth it. Be intentional and know that everything you need to accomplish the things you want is already inside of you. But look, y'all, the podcast doesn't end here, okay? Be sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok at O_Jada. That's O with 3 H's _JADA. You can see the visuals from past episodes and segments, and maybe even some teasers for upcoming episodes. And be sure to follow and like Mindful Moments on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, and even Google Podcasts. And as you go through your day, remember to be mindful of today in hopes for a better tomorrow. I'll see you in the next episode.